Well, hate to bring in more bad news, but so here's this brief article from Cosmic Book News and says that Henry Cavill responds to Supergirl with mass effect. What do you mean? Well, down here you got this Instagram post that he put, and I guess that's him being fitted for his Witcher wig, still filming the next season of Witcher, and then teases this paper with some blurred out text on it. No, what could it be? Well, some people claimed that they could bring it into focus using focus magic. And it's apparently this referring to lines from the Mass Effect game. And so the idea being that he could be signed on to be involved in a Mass Effect film or TV series, very much like what he did with The Witcher. Of course, he's a huge fan of video games, so Mass Effect might be right up his alley, and also would be a good franchise for him to move on to. But wait, wasn't he going to return as Superman? Well, I guess not. So Sasha Kali or Kyle, whatever, the new Supergirl that they had in there, all they want to talk about is how she's a Latina. So that, oh boy, don't turn her into Batwoman, you know. But so there'd always been talked about there was going to be this Supergirl, and like this was sort of a response to, we don't need Henry Cavill, we can move on with Supergirl. Meanwhile, you had Dwayne Johnson wanting Henry Cavill back as Superman to face off against his Black Adam. And I suppose that's the only thing to hope for any more Henry Cavill, and perhaps some cameo in the Shazam sequel, something like that. But I don't know. This is looking less likely for any of it. And it's like at a certain point, he's got to move on. I mean, a lot of time has passed. It should have been. He should already be done with Superman. It should have been like two more movies already. But I mean, of course, he lost a year to the lockdowns and all that. But still, I don't know. And of course, The Witcher elevated his status. He's a more popular actor now than he was when he did Man of Steel. And so he's probably, that increases the amount you'd have to pay him and all that sort of stuff. Meanwhile, you have Tyler Hoechlin's Superman and Lois, which so far it's pretty good. You know, that first episode was pretty good, and for a CW show. And so McCloy says, "Oh well, who's involved in that? Jeff Johns, who sabotaged Zack Snyder's DC." But he's involved in the television end of things. He's supposed to have been involved in a Green Lantern film, but nothing seems to have come of that. And if they ever get around to it, apparently they wanted to reserve the characters of Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart for a film, so that there won't really be a part of the Green Lantern Corps series that HBO Max is going to have. So I guess they're still pushing for this Green Lantern film. But that apparently is going to be headed up by J.J. Abrams. And keep in mind that he's more of a serious player here than Jeff Johns is. And so a lot of this stuff about Zack Snyder's DCEU and all that not continuing after the Snyder Cut is posted, I guess regardless of how it performs. I mean, if it's a massive success, that changes things, I would think. But these are weird times. And that it could just, JJ wants Superman and Green Lantern, and he doesn't want another Superman. And even though they're embracing this multiverse thing, and the Sasha Cale Supergirl, I think that's the idea, is that she's this alternate universe version for the Flash movie, because that's the whole point of that movie, is that he visits these alternate realities in it. With Ben Affleck's Batman, and then meets Michael Keaton's Batman and stuff like that. There was also a rumor that Henry Cavill would show up in it as Superman for a cameo, and maybe, but I'm dubious on that. But the idea that you're just not going to do any Superman with the Supergirl, I don't know. But so out of this, she gets her own film, I guess. I don't know. But JJ, the idea is that he wants Superman and Green Lantern. So I'm thinking any Green Lantern film will be his. and maybe Jeff Johns gets like a executive producer check. I doubt if it would even be his script at that point. And then JJ's Superman. So I know a lot of people are upset about Jeff Johns and all the past and whatnot that ended up screwing up Zack Snyder's Justice League and all that. But I think you're ignoring J.J. Abrams, who's a much bigger power player in Hollywood than Jeff Johns is. So that could be the thing. And it's like, even if the Snyder Cut does well, you're not going to get Henry Cavill Superman because JJ might want his own Superman. There's been theories like because he and Matt Reeves are good buddies, and that Robert Pattinson's Batman would team up with JJ's new Superman, whoever that is. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. It's certainly true here is that Jeff Johns, who used to work for Richard Donner, and he wants the Superman to be more in Donner's version of Superman, and that's true in the series. It does give a lot of nods to the Richard Donner, Christopher Reeve era of Superman, and that was true in Supergirl as well. So, but that's just the TV version. They could still do this if the ultimate outcome of Snyder Cut is that it could have led to a new Batman movie. There could have been a Superman movie. It could have tied into the overall story of taking on Darkseid and the New Gods and all that. But it's just not going to get any of it. Not even going to get a Henry Cavill Superman film. But so there's just telltale signs here that he's had to move. He has to move on. And another character that might be up his alley would be James Bond. After seeing him in Man from Uncle, I think Man from Uncle. I mean, that movie bombed and people kind of poo-pooed it. But when I finally saw it, I was like, it's a good film. And seeing him in that, I could say, oh yeah, I could totally see him playing James Bond. So maybe that's something else for him to chase. But it looks like. I hate saying it, but to me, I'm leaning more towards he's done as Superman, with maybe a possible few cameos here and there. But after Flashpoint, because I'm guessing that's their big time warp movie that changes everything, hearing a lot of troubles from the Batman set, and even if only half of them are true, it's a bit of a troublesome thing there for who would take it over if Matt Reeves doesn't want to do it anymore. After that experience. But be that as it may, whatever, they're going to need a new Batman, and for right now that's Pattinson. And since Ben Affleck, I as much as it breaks my heart, I wish he would get another shot at it, but I just don't think that's happening. And now we're not even going to get a Superman film with Henry Cavill. We'll probably get a Superman film at some point, but it looks like you're going to have to wait a little longer. And all you got is Tyler Hoechlin's TV series, which, the first episode was pretty good. So I guess there's that. But unfortunately, I'm guessing this is pretty much it for Henry Cavill's Superman. So I'll see what he does with Mass Effect. I don't play video games anymore, so I know very little about Mass Effect. The last thing I heard about it was that apparently Alex Kurtzman stole from it for his Star Trek series. So, what didn't he steal from? so anyway, we'll see how that turns out. I didn't know nothing about Witcher either, but I really liked the Witcher series that Cavill did. So maybe this will be good too. But man, I really wish could have gotten that Superman follow-up. But I guess it just... the powers that be won't let it happen. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr. Nailsin Show, on Radio Misfits, And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh my goodness, so many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.